Welcome to the deep dive. All right, so today we're jumping straight into something pretty interesting, shaking up the podcast world.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify is rolling out this brand new metric they're calling plays.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're basing this on a TechCrunch piece from just yesterday, May 6, 2025.
Right, fresh off the press.
And our goal today, our mission really, is just to get our heads around what this plays thing actually is.
Okay.
You know, where are you going to see it in the app? And more importantly, what does it all mean for listeners like us, but also for the folks actually making the podcasts?
Absolutely. Because it feels like it could change things, how we find stuff, how creators see their own work.
Definitely relevant for you, the listener, maybe a new way to spot popular episodes. And for creators, well, understanding what lands.
Yeah, that visibility aspect is key.
Yeah.
Making it public, not just back-end data for creators.
Right, that's a big shift. Okay, so let's unpack the actual announcement. TechCrunch says Spotify unveiled this plays metric on Tuesday. What exactly are they counting here? What's a play?
So basically, a play is meant to count how many times an episode, audio or video, importantly.
Oh, interesting. Video, too.
Yeah, video, too. How many times it's been actively listened to or watched on Spotify.
Actively. What does that mean, though? Is it like you click it and it counts? Or is there a minimum time?
Well, the article doesn't spell out the exact seconds or minutes, but actively strongly suggests there's a threshold.
Okay.
You know, it's probably not just a quick accidental tap. Most platforms do something like maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, something to show real engagement.
Right. Otherwise, the numbers could get inflated really easily. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see if Spotify clarifies that exact definition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so picture me. I'm scrolling through Spotify. Where am I going to see these numbers?
They're putting them in some pretty prominent spots,
Yeah.
according to the article,
Yeah.
like the main homepage, where you get recommendations.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Also right on the individual episode pages themselves.
Makes sense.
And even on the main show page for a podcast. So you can kind of see which episodes of a show are maybe more popular than others.
Okay, so they're really putting it front and center. Homepage, episode page, show page, everywhere, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Hard to miss.
And this isn't just for us listeners, right? The creators get this info, too.
Exactly. Creators will see it in their dashboard, Spotify for Creators.
Right.
And also through Megaphone, which is Spotify's, hosting and ad platform for bigger publishers.
Gotcha. So they get the direct feedback.
Direct feedback on what's hitting, which episodes are drawing people in.
So, okay, this is visible to everyone. What's Spotify's angle here? What are they hoping to achieve by making these numbers public?
Well, the stated aim, according to TechCrunch, is really about discovery.
Discovery? How so?
The idea is if you see an episode with a really high play count, you might think, oh, lots of people are listening to this. Maybe it's good.
Ah, like social proof.
Exactly that. Social proof. It could encourage you to maybe try out a podcast or an episode you wouldn't have otherwise noticed, leveraging that herd mentality a bit.
I can see that. You see a big number, you get curious. But what's in it for the creators beyond just, potentially bigger numbers?
Well, two main things highlighted. First, like we said, that direct feedback. Knowing which specific episodes resonate most, that's gold for planning future content.
Sure, yeah. What worked, what didn't.
And second, and this is maybe even bigger, it allows them to benchmark.
Benchmark. Against who?
Against other podcasts. They can see how their play counts stack up, maybe against shows in their same category, or just generally across Spotify. It gives context to their performance.
That is interesting. Gives them a sense of scale, where they fit in.
Right, which they haven't really had in this public way on Spotify before.
Now, the article also ties this into Spotify's recent performance, their Q1 earnings. How does that fit in?
Yeah, it provides some context.
Yeah.
Spotify's been doing well. They added 5 million premium subscribers in Q1.
5 million. Wow.
Yeah, bringing the total up to 268 million premium users.
Huge numbers.
And the article notes this was their second highest quarterly gain ever and the biggest Q1 gain since way back in 2020.
So they're growing strong. And maybe this plays metric is a way to keep that momentum going, specifically in podcasts.
That seems plausible. They're in a strong position, financially speaking, and they're investing in features like this, possibly to deepen engagement with podcasts on the platform, keep those users listening.
Right. Keep people on the app longer, maybe convert more free users to premium through compelling podcast content.
Could be part of the strategy, yeah.
And speaking of strategy, the article brings up the competition, specifically YouTube.
Ah, yes, the elephant in the room for podcasting.
Right. YouTube is massive in this space, especially with video podcasts. How does this Spotify move relate to that?
Well, YouTube obviously has very visible metrics, right? View counts, likes, dislikes. They've been core to the platform forever.
Sure, everyone knows YouTube views.
So one way to look at Spotify introducing public plays is as an attempt to create a similar dynamic on their platform.
Like creating their own version of that viral view count effect.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Building that discoverability engine based on visible popularity. It's a way to perhaps compete more directly with YouTube's dominance, especially as Spotify pushes video podcasts more themselves, trying to level the playing field a bit in terms of how popularity is perceived.
Makes sense. They need their own signals of what's hot.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We dove into this TechCrunch piece. The big takeaway. Spotify is now showing podcast episode plays.
Yeah, visible to everyone.
Right there in the app, homepage, episode pages, show pages. And creators get this data too for insights and benchmarking.
Helps them see what's working and how they compare.
And the motivation seems to be boosting podcast discovery through social proof, maybe giving them a stronger footing against competitors like YouTube, all while they're experiencing pretty solid growth overall.
That sums it up pretty well. It's a significant move, adding this layer of public data.
It really is. Which leads to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to chew on.
Okay.
How is this actually going to change things for you? When you're looking for something new to listen to on Spotify, will those play counts influence your choice?
Will you gravitate towards the ones with huge numbers?
Yeah, exactly. Will you be more likely to click play on something with, say, 1 million plays versus 10,000? And then what about the flip side? What does this mean for the smaller shows, the niche podcasts, the brand new ones just starting out? Will this make it harder for them to get discovered if they don't have those big numbers right away?
It's a really good question. Does it create a rich get richer scenario or just provide helpful signals?
Definitely something to mull over next time you're browsing for a podcast. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.